But this is a dirty game, bro. And what I've always said is all is fair in love, war, and challenges, 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 and challenges.
What's really good, Popsters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. She is Becky at Gift Master Bex. And of course, we are joined by Antonio, aka the Bananas Defender. What's really good, gang? What's shaking with y'all? Becky, how you doing?
Doing all right. A little bit worried. My poor doggo decided to have a seizure a couple minutes ago, but he seems to be doing better. And I'm about to start school in about a week. So,
congrats. Big ups to Nico, big prayers, and congrats on heading back to school. It is it's a pain in the ass, but it's all going to be worth it. Tyler, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm better than I was last week, so I'm good.
What was wrong last week?
There were just some accusations presented about me and everything. And
oh yeah, we're definitely going to touch on that.
It got me a little shook and everything. 'Cause it's something I've never experienced before, so I don't know. But I'm good. I'm great.
what is it that you hate women? Because you do.
No, that's not. No, this time that wasn't it.
That wasn't it. Antonio,
Yes.
how you holding up, man?
I'm doing good, like Tyler got the me treatment last week. Usually I get the hate for that, and like
Oh, they mentioned you.
they did.
That's not by name.
Well,
Facts.
other than that, I've been chilling. It's grad school, same bullshit. I don't know. Life's boring nowadays. Same routine
doubt.
every day.
That is good to hear. I'm actually a little surprised that you think life is kind of boring right now. Like, aren't you kind of worried?
Have they knocked on your door yet?
My life is boring. I wake up, I go to the gym, I do schoolwork, I play video games. Like, life is plain and simple for me right now.
You know what? Speaking of playing video games, you know what I just started?
What?
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil. No, never played any of those games.
Never played Resident Evil?
No, sir.
God,
I'm more of like MLB The Show, Madden, 2K, that type of guy.
See, ladies, pay attention. Stuff like this happens when a guy doesn't get any in high school.
Wow.
Well, one hell of an episode today. A lot of things a lot of things got shaken up. You guys ready to go ahead and jump into the episode? What is this? Episode 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Episode 7 of the challenge, Double Agents. Ready to kick it off?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and get it in. All right, so the cast returns and Jay and Theresa are public enemy number 1. We jump right into Kyle, Corey, and Leroy pressing Jay. Now, when this was all going on, because, they're still very pissed because they all got screwed over in some way by Jay and Theresa's plan last week. And Jay actually said the same man I was thinking. He said, I don't owe an explanation to anyone. In your guys' opinion, is that necessarily true? Does he owe an explanation? Does he owe an explanation to anybody? And if he does, to whom? Becky, kick it off.
Truthfully, no. I don't think he has to explain himself to anybody. He did what he had to do. He went with what his partner wanted to do. Yes, it screwed him over in the end. But my issue isn't necessarily that. My issue with him is that he's flip-flopping. 1 second in the confessionals, he's like, I should have said something. Now I'm screwed. I can't believe I did this. I feel so bad. And then the next is, I don't have to give anybody an explanation for anything. Fuck this. I'm my own person. So it's pretty wishy-washy and flip-floppy, so it's making me kind of see how people think he's a little suspect.
At the end of the day, it is a game, so no one really owes anyone anything because, you're going to do what's best for yourself. I do think Jay should have told Kyle and Corey, just give them a heads up, hey, this is what we're doing, because if you say you're close like that, because at the end of the day, even though it's a game, you still have friendships you made, you still have connections you made with people that are inside the game and outside, and people might take it personally, and if you really care about that friendship, I guess I would say, you might want to just at least give them a heads up. You don't have to tell them your whole game plan, but if just give them the courtesy that, hey, you're going into elimination, get ready, I want you to come back, but, Jay didn't do that.
I'm a huge fan of everybody involved in this. Jay, Corey, Kyle. I like all of them. Kyle and Corey are in the wrong here. A, Jay should have never had to explain anything. B, it never affected them at all. If anything, it helped keep helped keep Corey out of an elimination for one more round. Whenever you're the rogue agent, you don't go into elimination. He got a free pass for an extra week. And on top of that, it wasn't his plan. Theresa, and that's the thing, even if he explained himself, I think that's why he was like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm not going to explain it to you. Because even if he would have, they wouldn't have listened, because Theresa came in and she said it was all me, and they still weren't having it. So he didn't screw you guys over. If he tells you, your partners can prepare, and that messes up Theresa's plan, his partner. So
I feel both ways about this. The only reason why I would think that he would have to explain himself is because there was several people that he said that he would either give them a heads up or he would let them know. If he wasn't going to do that, or if that wasn't part of the plan, then he probably should have just said, well, I can't tell you anything right now. My partner's coming up with something. You're just going to have to wait and see. A lot of people feel some kind of way because, he told them something different. And that's why they feel the way they do. So for that, I get it. But in reality, everybody here is trying to get $1 million. Nobody has to explain their game to anybody else. But if you want to work with these people again, if you don't want to become public enemy number one, don't lie to them. Let's go ahead and move on. Also, yeah, Theresa kind of jumped in and kind of just took the blame for everything. Listen, it was my idea, back up off of him. And they still didn't give him any kind of fucking leeway. How did you guys feel about that? Well, we got how you feel about it, Tyler. Antonio?
Theresa just stood up for her partner. That's what anyone's going to do in this game. You always want to just stick up for people that you're closest to. But, at the end of the day, I still think Jay should have told him regardless, because, even though Jay and Theresa are a team right now, we don't know if they're a team next week, because Jay can have a different partner next week. We don't know that. So, yes, in the moment, sure, but if looking at the longevity of the game, it's best to suit, 2 people instead of 1.
Becky.
I think Theresa should have minded her business, mostly because the guys were talking to him about it and he has to explain his own reasonings. Now, I understand she was trying to do the good partner thing, but kind of like what Leroy said, I'm talking to him, not you. So see yourself out of the conversation.
Being a bad listener is not a good trait, gentlemen. Don't follow his lead there.
So even though Theresa explained everything, Leroy still obviously wants blood. But I can't help but think that targeting Jay would probably be counterproductive. Is Leroy targeting Jay I have to get him out? Is that really the best route for him to go? Jay, for the most part with Theresa, they're pretty harmless, except for the 1 week that they won, but it didn't really harm them. So I don't know. Is going after Jay counterproductive for Leroy?
So with thinking about Leroy, he, as of right now, I don't really see him having a true target. I think it was more so find someone who we can blame, and that's it. Because look at the rest of the house; he's pretty much close with majority of it, and we see later on in the episode where his numbers really are, and his options are very, very slim. And Jay just having to be the first person that's left to do him wrong, and he has to just make him a known target, and that's it.
I think that Leroy really is just doing what he can to kind of make an excuse to go after him in an elimination. So,
oh, you think it was foreshadowing?
I think it was. I think I think Leroy likes a lot of people in the house, and Leroy is very likable. So I think for him, it was always, who am I going to have to go into an elimination with, and who's going to be my friend, and I'm going to have to turn my back on them. Whereas Jay gave him a full ride, go ahead and put me in because I put your girlfriend in. So I think that he's like, thanks for making it easy on me.
This to me just, I agree with what Becky said. It was kind of like, it was just like making his target known. I think he was playing way too emotional at this moment. Like, who cares if they sent Cam in? She got her gold skull. She has to get a gold skull. Like, she has to do that. So she was going to send herself in eventually. So and she didn't get backstabbed, like, at all. Like, she sent Cam in to take out Ashley, not to get taken out. So I don't know why I don't understand any of this big fuss. It makes no sense to me.
She got blindsided. That's the situation.
Not really.
She was
She's
told. She was
not
told
working
by Theresa that she would get a nod, and
Once
she
Theresa
didn't get a
said
nod.
that, once Theresa said that, Cam should have known that it was very possible to go in. That's as big of a heads up as you can really. I think that's as big as a heads up as anybody should be able to give anybody. Like, didn't even have to do that. But the fact that she asked you, and this is something you would want to do, you should probably be expecting to go in at that point. I would take that as a heads up.
I would be ready to go into every elimination since it's something that you are required to do to win. On top of that, I wouldn't try and strong arm the person in power. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if the person's in power and I don't want to go in, I'm going to avoid them as much as possible for as long as possible.
Cam didn't strong arm anybody.
Give me a heads up if I'm going in. That's strong arming, in my opinion. I'm not dogging on Cam.
Theresa went to her and said, if I put you in, would you want to go in against her? And she's like, I don't care. Yeah. She said, I don't care. Just give me a heads up. It wasn't a, bitch, you better give me a heads up if you're going to put me in or else I'm going to screw you over. It was, if you're going to come to me and try and make a deal, then...
But that sounds like something Cam would do. Put me up.
It really does, because she is that kind of person. But that wasn't what happened in this case.
That is very much on
it could have happened. It could have edited it out. We just don't know it.
Oh, shut up.
Hang on, because I feel like every time I say something, you defend it so hard that it looks like I'm dogging on Cam. If anybody says, give me a nod, I feel like that is, in my way, strong-arming somebody by telling them what to do. They're in power. I'm not saying Cam. I'm saying anybody. Never tell the person in power.
Teresa said she would give her a nod, not that Cam said give me a nod. But anyway, I understand. Maybe
I'm just going on. I'm just going on what you said.
I'm not going hard on you.
I'm just going on what you said.
This is just me being passionate.
Yo, Tyler, these stands, man, bro. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and move on to Fessy and Corey's heart-to-heart. At this point of the game, Fessy's feeling some kind of way. He felt like he made some enemies. He felt like he may have hurt some of the people that he cared about the most because he's actually very emotional and very self-conscious.
Imagine.
He's got low self-esteem.
So, I mean, I was really, really moved today by Fessy just giving us his emotion that he's obviously been closing off for so long. And, you know, such a strong emotional character. And we need more sensitive males like this. Were you guys also moved by Fessy's speech? And tell me, how fast should Corey forgive him for everything that has been done? Antonio.
Honestly, I just think Fessy's putting this on for a show just to impress Gabby because, you know, as we've seen, Fessy has no game. And if he shows that he has a heart, girls like that, at least from what I know of. Like, if you express emotions, express feelings, some girls find that attractive. And I guess Fessy's just trying to do that to persuade Gabby. I don't know. But
what girls? The only girls who find that attractive are girls who just like, oh, I can fix him. we don't know how that ends up.
Okay, but like maybe that's how Gabby. I don't know how Gabby is. I haven't met the girl, but maybe that's how she is. But honestly, the heart to heart. I mean, I didn't see it coming from Fessy. It didn't look genuine to me, honestly. It maybe because of the editing, but just to me, it more felt like Fessy was. He's put in a bad situation in the house, and he's just trying to, you know, just not be enemy number one anymore. So I think it's all fake.
Should Corey forgive him?
Not right away. You know, especially when you have someone's trust and they break it. Words don't really fix it. Yeah, a lot of action has to be shown.
He should get him flowers then. Flowers and candy?
Chocolate.
Maybe like just do what Nelson did last season. Hey, you want it's between me and you. Maybe I'll go into elimination, even though it's a puzzle. I'll do it. You just sit in the sidelines. Don't worry, I got you. Maybe then I'll forgive Fessy.
We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Love War Challenges. What's good?
How's it going? This is Derek Kaczynski.
So this is Paulie, and you're listening to Love War Challenges.
What up, Malik? This is Cara Maria. This is a shout out to the Love War and Challenges podcast. You're totally awesome.
Love War Challenges. For anyone listening to this, they're at LWC Podcast.
World's most dangerous podcast.
Listen, I wanted to like Fessy so much, especially
So
with
did
especially with him being a Muslim and a big, strong guy. And he has been I've been very disappointed so far in the kind of game that he plays. This whole thing with Fessy is a reason why Big Brother sucks on the challenge. Becky, how do you feel about Fessy's speech, and should Corey forgive him?
I think that Fessy's speech is about as honest as he can be right now in a challenge house. I think he is just trying to hedge his bets and possibly save a friendship that he obviously cared more for than Nelson, because he really didn't try and apologize that hard to Nelson. I think that Corey should forgive him, but never forget. So at the end of the day, memories are long. And this is going to come back to haunt Fessy.
It looked fake. It smelled fake. Everything about it was just fake, in my opinion. I think it was just trying to reach and gain numbers, and that's all it is. And as soon as the first line he said is, "I've been meaning to try and talk to you." Man, this happened 3 episodes ago. Like 3 episodes. I don't know how the timeline in that is, but I'm going to assume that's like 10 to 15 days between elimination and the next the 7th daily. So
I think it would be probably closer to like a week to 10 days.
That's a long time not to talk to somebody that you backstab, that you're like, I was meaning to talk to you and apologize. Like, he didn't feel bad. He just says down in numbers is what he thinks. He doesn't have what he doesn't have what he thinks he had. On top of that, if I'm Corey, I do forgive him, but I'm never going to forget what he did. Like, I'm going to forgive him to the point where he's going to be loyal to me for the rest of this game, but I'm going to be like a mafia boss. And as soon as he turns his back, he's done.
You come to me at the day of my daughter's wedding.
Tyler, I think you definitely hit that one right on the head. Corey's numbers are completely depleted. Right now, he is surviving off of charm. But also, he's not a huge target because he's very beatable in the final. As good as he is, when he gets to the final, best second place, maybe, depending on who's in it.
It's his knees.
He also doesn't have a steady partner, so you can't really target a guy who has a new partner every week.
Whose fault is that?
No, it's not his fault. I'm just saying you can't target Corey because he has every other week he has no partner. I feel like
Corey has not done anything threatening.
Corey sat out more than he played, I feel like.
Facts.
I was like, Corey needs better, more stable partners.
Yeah, facts.
But with 2 of them, you can't really blame him. Right? Because it was, didn't Michelle leave? And who's the other one that left?
It's
Michelle.
Michelle.
Natalie.
I was like, wait, what?
Wow. Wow.
I was like, there was a Michelle on this?
No, you're good. No, there's a Michelle that was just on Survivor. She's a winner, and she just made the finals last time with Natalie and their friends. So maybe that's
maybe that's what it is.
That is totally a lie, because that boy does not watch Survivor.
And that's actually why Jay and Natalie are friends and work together, is through Michelle. So even though you didn't do that on purpose,
No, it's 10 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Why did they think her name was Michelle? What the fuck?
Listen, Antonio.
That's weird.
Get off of Tinder.
I thought he was doing Bumble.
Let's go ahead and move on to the daily. Today's daily is going to be called Aerial Takedown. Now, this one looked cool and involved a helicopter, and almost every challenge that involves a helicopter is going to be kind of cool. And everybody's hanging on to this big cargo net, and they got to fight each other off. A couple of great moments. A couple of people just fell for no reason, and they did it really funny, like Michi. Other people were really badass, like Jay decided to go right after Leroy. there's also that embarrassing display of 5 mostly great challengers just not doing anything. And there's Theresa's game plan. So a whole lot to unpack that went on during the daily. What were some of your guys' favorite moments and least favorite moments from the daily? Becky.
Honestly, I really enjoyed everybody's reaction to this daily. I think the girls really went for it, and I really love that. Well, at least the first set of girls, I'll be honest. That and Amber B from the second round. I love that Amber B stood up for it. She says, I want to win. I want to be this. So the disappointing thing, obviously, was watching these big, burly guys, these tough guys, just be like, ew, it's cold. It's water. Oh, no. And then you have Big T, like, trying to do something, and she flops off. Come on now.
She was smiling as she fell off.
Yeah, because
she had a smile on her face as she fell. I was like, come on. Like, how can you not love her?
She's such a ray of sunshine. But yeah, so I mean, I got to get up to the girls, and all the girls made this comment that it just shows that the men are a bunch of, weaklings, and the women are badass.
All right, Tyler, favorite and least favorite moments from today's daily.
I mean, I thought it was really cool. I really liked it. It was like a different twist on like a I don't even know, where they would play with a ball pit and there's just a bunch of balls and you have to wrestle each other, last man standing type thing.
But we've seen this before. I think it was Rivals, and we see something like this right before the final.
No, Rivals, somebody was dangling and the other person had to climb a rope and release them.
That's what it was.
And Leroy did that in like 8 seconds. But
nice.
No, I thought it was really interesting and everything. I thought it was entertaining, and it is kind of disappointing that like 8 of the 11 guys or whatever felt safe enough, or 8 of the 10 guys, because I guess Corey didn't participate, like felt safe enough that they didn't actually have to participate. But I mean, the way the rules were structured is that only one person on your team had to actually do well. So I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I don't know. I wish I could have seen more. That was kind of disappointing, but it was also really awesome to see Jay and Leroy. And for anybody, this is off topic and everything, because we've talked about this before, but anybody that says that like production doesn't kind of like rig things, like, come on, you didn't tell me that.
I was waiting for you to bring this up.
No, think about this. Leroy's mad at Jay. Leroy gets a physical daily, and what do? They put him in the same heat as Jay, and he's standing next to Jay.
Really, so he's standing next to Jay.
Like, they're trying so hard to just like, okay, it's not a puzzle, it's not a quiz. Let's put Leroy next to the guy he wants. Like, it looked too it was just, the coincidences, I don't know, to me.
Come on, but producers got to produce.
I know, I agree.
It's a great storyline. Sometimes it's not even about the win. It's just
probably
about the
smart to
storyline.
capitalize on it.
It was just Goliath versus David. I mean, it's only a good storyline if David overcomes, really, in my opinion.
I think that they got to choose where they got on, because when Michie was trying to get on, I felt like he was like running around.
You call him Michie?
Yeah,
Is that his name?
He was gonna say Michelle again. He's
is that not his name? It's not Michie. Michie.
That was the funniest part of the whole day.
Yeah, but as he was trying to get on, it felt like he had the opportunity to pick where he wanted to get on, so I could see like
that's fair.
Them choosing. But about the daily, I mean, this had potential to be one of the top ones of the season. I feel like it could have been all around physical, but just seeing how the guys just didn't do nothing was kind of upsetting. I mean, definitely the girls played amazing. I feel like all of them all gave it their all. I don't even know like anything that's like besides that. You guys pretty much covered the whole daily.
Yeah, big props to the ladies here for going all at it and everything. Casey, whoa, yeah, hang on,
Casey.
I don't know why I said her name, but then in my mind I spelt it with a C, and I was like, that Casey's not on here.
There's a C in there.
That's no, but
Casey
it's
with a C.
So it's Casey with a K. There's a C in there.
I got you.
I like meant to my own mind, and I was like, that Casey would have never won this challenge. But
are you thinking about the Challenge OGs cast?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, Casey was super impressive in there. And here's the thing with Amber B, I think that was all miscommunication, because what I saw was an entire heat of rookie girls, Big T and Theresa, pretty much people that are kind of working together. And Theresa was like, if one of us win and we all fall off, we get the power. And in my eyes, that looked like a smart move. Didn't have to be Theresa, I'm sure if Amber would have spoke up and she would have got the free win, that means her man's safe, her alliance is safe almost.
I don't think so, because at this point, I know during club night, she mentions that like word is going around that Darrell's going to be on the block. And that obviously came from Theresa and CT. But doubling back to this daily real quick, I definitely loved how the ladies came up and really like kicked a lot of ass and really just performed harder, really put a lot of the guys to shame. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts. One of my least favorite parts was Theresa's politicking. If you're going to try to do a politicking move like that, be a little bit more smooth. She was called out for it almost immediately, putting an even bigger target on her back. And because it's going to be a guy's day, it's all going to fall on Jay. Just like most of the heat has fallen on Jay. Theresa is skating by relatively unscathed. I mean, Cam may be pissed that she got voted in, but she has a gold skull. They don't really have to worry about going after Theresa too hard. And it's not like Theresa is some type of finals beast, even though she did really well when she was teamed up with Leroy. So I kind of expected better gamemanship from Theresa, but for some reason it all works out in Theresa's favor, which is weird, but that's the way how it goes. But when it comes to the daily, Casey and Leroy gets the win 1 week after Leroy's girlfriend was voted in. I'm sure this is going to play out lovely.
Coincidence?
No. So
I think not.
One
second.
Hey, real quick, you touched on something earlier in this episode that we're talking in, and it was kind of like saying, like, why go after Jay? He hasn't really done much. But if we look at 3 dailies in a row, they've placed second, first, and second. 3 dailies in a row. That's Jay and Theresa as a combo. Granted, yes, Teresa's the one that won her heat, but Jay was actually fighting the entire time on that thing against Leroy. So
against somebody who was
Jay had to try, that's why.
But I'm
like
saying,
Jay and Leroy are the only two men that really had to. Everything, other guys just felt safe, which felt weird because it was a guy day. So unless the whole house agreed Leroy versus Jay, regardless, I don't know why every guy just did nothing.
Laziness and fair. But
I think they've gotten complacent a little bit. I think that they're big bads too, and now everybody sees them from what they are.
Everyone on this season has a big ego. Well, the men at least.
All, for the most part, they're reality stars. Some of it even worse, where they're Olympians or even champions of a season before. So yeah, they're all going to have big egos. Let's go ahead and move on to club night. So of course we get the standard. Theresa is drinking alone. She's all isolated. Jay too, but to a lesser extent. Theresa and Amber B get into a heated exchange over Amber B not dropping. And, Darrell is brought into it. My favorite part from that exchange was Nani at the end bigging up Amber B and just like, you pissed off Theresa. We're besties now. Are any of us surprised that Nani is warming up to Amber B so much?
I was going to say, Nani, I think she dislikes Theresa. I don't think that they have issues like per se, but I don't think that she's a big fan. So it kind of helps, but Nani's always been friendly. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had already had a friendship with Amber B. And it's just being more shown now.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ways that Nani is able to last so long on every season that she's on is 50%, in my opinion, is her social game. Just being able to be likable by people, being, fun and everything like that. That's the type of person that she is. And she just lives it even on the show. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's 50% of the reason why she always makes it far.
Well, yeah, Nani's always very likable. I feel like Nani and Wes play a very similar game. What Wes used to put in that, but not to the same extent. They both lean toward new blood, I would feel like. And Nani, the last few seasons, has been tending more for, yes, she has her close friends, but she's been leaning more towards the rookies, the newbies of the challenge.
Because everybody who's been there for more than 5 seasons hate her.
Well, I mean,
not everybody.
Come on now. She's not that bad.
Okay, but for the last few seasons, she's been leaning more towards the younger group regardless. And I feel like that's what Wes used to do. But Wes was more of a social mastermind where he used to plan 10 steps ahead. Nani would just be friends with everyone and rely on the friendships. But
you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong.
You may have a point. I just think Wes was way better at it.
Oh yeah, Wes made
harder.
Yeah, Wes was 10 steps ahead. Nani was 10 friendships ahead. Let's just say.
Yeah, and the past 4 seasons, she's befriended Turbo, Josh, Casey, and now maybe Amber B and everything. That's people that are within 1 or 2 seasons of their challenge career.
The rookies. She's being friends with the right people. Even Jay. I feel like she was friends with Casey. Like she's becoming friends with people that who are going to be on the show for a long period of time, and that's what's going to keep her safe.
I know it's easy to rag on Nani, but I really have liked the effort she's been putting in these last couple of seasons. It seems like she really wants to get one, and I would love to see her get one as long as she puts in the effort in the gameplay that is required to actually pull one of these things off. I think for Nani to actually win one of these, she would have to get a win pretty late in the game and pull a really big power move to get, the likes of like a Lolo or Georgia out of there.
Like all the good final runners, she'd have to get out of there to win a final, in my opinion. I honestly, and this is no offense to Nani, I know she just had her birthday and everybody loves her on social media and everything. Don't dog me for this take too, but I think that Nani is, if there's 10 women left, I have Nani placed like 7th or 8th in a final. So I think there's a lot of people that are better at finals in front of her. She's never going to give up, but...
No, Nani, things are, I feel like with the rest of the females on this cast, I think Nani is probably the most easiest to work with out of the remaining female cast. Based off relationship-wise and based off how Nani was previously working with people. Nani always is able to hold her own, and she's always able to, like, compose herself when dealing with, like, high ego people like Bananas and Wes.
She's super mid. Just mid. Maybe higher mid, but mid nonetheless. Let's go ahead and move on to the second part of Club Night, which is going to be the most fun.
We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Love War Challenges. What's good?
How's it going? This is Derek Kaczynski.
So this is Paulie, and you're listening to Love War Challenges.
What up, Malik? This is Cara Maria. This is a shout out to the Love, War, and Challenges podcast. You're totally awesome.
Love War Challenges. For anyone listening to this, they're at LWC Podcast.
World's most dangerous podcast.
Let's go ahead and move on to the second part of Club Night, which is going to be the most fun.
Oh, my God.
This is going to be Devin and Kyle versus Fessy and Josh. So we all seen how that played out. Devin, he really put the battery in the back of Big Brother. I mean, he gets those guys so hyped up out of the sheer fact that they get more attention on them in a negative light. And I think just because he is a master level troll at this point, who did you guys side on here? The Devin Potster side or the Fessy, you pussy, I beat your ass side? Tyler.
You could get a camera crew and just tell Devin and Kyle to go to a bar and mess with somebody, and I would watch it every day. Every day. It was what we don't say, we haven't said this in a while. It was gold. It was MTV gold. And I thought it was hilarious to start to finish. I like when we have a serious show and then all of a sudden in the episode, we can kind of lay back and laugh. Like, I think that's what makes a show good. It's not just all competition. It's not all drama, but it can go back and forth and fluctuate. I sided with Devin here because if Fessy would have just been messing back, I would have been okay with it. Right. But as soon as he wanted to fight him and everything, and he calls him weak, but then all of a sudden doesn't want to run a final against him. I don't understand. But
yeah, he took it so serious, and that made it even more funny.
Yeah. The mooning.
Antonio.
Can I choose neither? Because I feel like, I guess I'm a child at heart, and I live for this shit.
At heart. You just are a child.
Shut up. I know. But is this some shit I would do when I'm drunk with my friends? Yes. But when you're on a game show, I just, I was so hurt and bothered by watching, because I feel like, because when there's money involved, it's just to act like that. And because Devin, to me, I hate Devin, and this is going to be a very biased answer. He plays such a coward game because his mindset is, we go there, we get everyone drunk, start shit, and let's hope one of the biggest guys in the house throws hands on me so he goes home.
This is so funny coming from a Johnny Bananas fan. So fucking funny. Like, are you not listening to yourself?
Okay,
Don't
but
you have
Bananas
a
never
shirt
went
that
to-
he has that says "Stir the Pot"?
Have you
Like,
ever
it is so hilarious.
Okay, no, but stirring the pot is different than going up to someone and wanting them to like put their hands on you. That's two different things.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you that. What is the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference in writing a note that's going to make somebody hate a different castmate? Like starting rumors about other people and everything. Like, what's the difference in that? Like,
Okay, but that's anonymous. But like I said,
You would
yes,
start
it's
rumors
childish.
separately.
that is more cowardly than somebody coming up to somebody else's face and calling them out. Yes, it is.
Because the reason why Devin's doing this is
You're
because
right.
he wants to
Devin's
advance his
pretty
game.
brave. Devin got right in his face and was just like, I don't
Because
like
he
it.
wants Fessy to punch him in the face. He wants Fessy to go home. He wants Josh to go home. He's getting in their face, saying shit that's gonna piss them off. Obviously, I mean, I'm not mad at Devin for doing what he's doing. I just think in a game for
Oh
$1
my God.
million,
Am I gonna get to
it's
talk?
a coward move.
You will.
Yeah, you can. Hang on. We're excited. Okay. Okay. Hang on a second. A really basic caveman answer from anybody. Why do people want to go after Devin?
Because he sucks.
Because he's what, physically weak? They assume.
A layup.
So if Devin thinks Fessy and Josh are mentally weak, it's the same thing. He's going after their negative trait, just like they're going after his negative trait. So it's the same thing. People that bitch and complain about, not saying you, but Fessy and Josh that are complaining about this, they're doing the same thing.
wrong.
They're just big guys who can push you around. But small guys who can think good can mess with them.
As we learned
He's
today,
good.
Fessy
He's
is
so
very
smart.
delicate.
SMRT.
Fessy is delicate. We cannot mess with Fessy's feelings, okay?
Listen.
Cannot
All right,
very,
shut up,
he's
Antonio. We're done
All right,
talking
Becky.
to you.
Becky.
We're done talking to you, Antonio. I gotta say, I am shockingly on Team Devin. I was
Let's go.
I was
I hate all
entertained.
of you.
I literally smiled from ear to ear that entire time because it was so ridiculous. He mooned them. He waved his feet at them. He was like, what the? It's the same thing that happened when all Devin said was Big Brother sucks. Like, wow, these Big Brother players cannot handle the emotional pressure. And I agree with Tyler. It's a situation where Devin knows where his strengths are, and his strengths are mental. So he's going to break you down. And then if he has to get to elimination with you, you're already half broken. So it's easier for him to possibly win. And my favorite line of the night, Josh, I know I'm a layup. I've accepted that I'm a layup. You're walking around like you're not. like I was like, hey, he admits it.
I like when he
job,
was like,
Devin.
is there something else going on? Because I feel like the house needs to sit down and talk to you together. Like,
I am really worried about your emotional and your mental state right now. We need to help you out. I mean, I think at the end he was a little bit worried about him because you could tell on his face he's like, holy like you're really going off the rails.
You know, I really love this moment so much because Devin was sitting around having a beer, and he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck with these guys.
He did it
went
so
over
well.
He did, and he got him, and then Kyle jumps in, and he just eggs him on, like he just picked it up. I think Devin and Kyle in the future might be a duo we have to keep an eye out for.
Do not say that.
No,
ever
no,
again,
I'm
please.
serious. And
Do not put that into the universe, because
First
I
off-
might just stop watching the show.
First off, Kyle has, because, you know,
I love Kyle. I just hate Devin.
I dislike Kyle for a long time, and Kyle is, I look at him with completely different eyes now. I find him a lot more entertaining. In reality, I wasn't sure how Kyle was going to do without having the him and Paulie and Corey dynamic, which made him so relevant.
he's grown,
And
though.
he seemed to be thriving without it. And I was really worried about Devin coming in without the bananas target, because just like, oh, he's going to be boring without it. And I couldn't be more happy to be so wrong. Before we get out of this, though, it continued on a little bit more. Josh is even more in his feelings than Fessy was.
Here we go.
And he put his hands on Josh. I'm sorry, he put his hands on Devin. Should Josh have been booted?
For a shove?
For a shove.
People should spend a little time in this show.
Here's
That's
the
all they
thing.
do.
I actually don't think it matters how hard you hit somebody or what type of physical thing. I think it's all in the person that got hit. If they're okay with you staying, I think that people get to stay, because that's what I think. Unless two people hit each other, that's what I think the situation goes to. I want to say one thing. Before the episode today, I was like, you know what? I've been dogging on Josh too much. We've all been dogging on Josh too much. I'm going to stop dogging on Josh for a little bit. And then we were watching that clip, and I turned to my wife and I said, how much you want to bet Josh is going to like get Fessy out and then come back in and start shit again because he wants to be the center of attention? And then it happened, and I was like, God damn it, man. I was just going to like not dog on you today.
He makes it so easy. He makes it hard to not dog on him.
Yeah.
I am also okay with him staying. It looks like Devin, it doesn't like Devin's intention was to get him to throw a punch or to get him knocked out or anything like that. It was just like, I'm fucking with him. All right, I obviously push him to the max. But it was in that point I was thinking, I was just like, man, I would love to be on this show because I would fuck with Josh so much. And I already know what I would do to piss him off. Anytime he's eating anything, I would just either flip his plate over or smack the food out of his hand. And I would do that every single time. And he would be kicked out by day one for punching me squarely in the face. And then I would probably also get booted for being a bully.
You gonna eat that?
But, you know, little stuff like that. Like when I was in high school, little things like that always pissed off people. Like anytime you try to bite into a sandwich, just smack the whole shit.
What you do is you make eating, like as they're biting, you make eating sounds as they're taking the bite out of it.
That's gross.
So they just hear themselves eating.
Anyway.
Anytime he's having a drink, I would just come along and stir it with my finger.
As a foodie, I feel a little bit attacked right now.
I'm going to tell you a little personal story real quick that relates to that. It's hilarious you brought that up. So we had a buddy one time that was holding it. We were eating a taco. We were in Taco Bell, whatever, and he was just eating a taco. And my other friend kept trying to talk, and the guy that was eating a taco just kept interrupting him. And eventually, my buddy reached across and just shook his wrist so hard the taco just flew everywhere.
Aw, taco abuse.
Big shout out to my friends.
See, I went to an all guys high school, so like shit like this happened every day. Like I don't think I fully ate my lunch at all.
That makes so much sense. You went to an all-boys high school.
It was a private school, guys. Let's go. I
bet it was real private, wasn't it?
That's why when you guys brought up chicks, he got excited.
Yeah, exactly.
Chicks.
We had an all-girls school like 5 blocks away. We hung out with them all the time. Relax yourself.
No, you didn't. Stop lying.
Yes, I did.
You don't got to prove it. Call up somebody who can validate your story right now.
Receipts.
I am not calling my friends right now. And I'm not saying that
I'm not going to trust your friends because they'll lie for you.
Facts. Guys will lie for their guys.
Once an Italian, always an Italian.
Facts. The old Merita. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. All right. Let's go ahead and get into deliberation. So Devin goes ahead and apologizes for the fracas that it was, but and the big thing that came out was CT versus Theresa. Now, CT and Theresa, they've known each other for years. We all remember that great basketball game. I think it was Free Agents.
Yes.
Yep. So they go back. They have a long history, not really working together, but they know each other. They did have the conversation early in the episode about who they might want to get out. See, they didn't come up with any plans. Really, the whole conversation was in passing. The whole house started hearing names about Darrell getting thrown in. Did that come from CT? And whose side are you taking as CT versus Theresa?
I'm taking CT's side. CT doesn't really go around and like, he probably had this conversation with Theresa, just very like flippant, because that's when he does. He's like, well, whatever. But he doesn't really politic that much, at least from what I've seen. I don't see him walking around being like, hey, put in Darrell. That's not what I see CT doing. I see more people going to CT to be like, this is what we want to do. Do you want in? So I honestly think Theresa was just trying to cover her ass because the last 2 episodes she's been shady and she's been doing shit that is giving her a really bad reputation and people are going to start gunning for her. So I think she's just trying to protect herself from possible fallout.
CT's in the wrong here. Like, he literally brought up running against Darrell as almost a death sentence because he's 4 for 4 in finals. He's never lost a final he's ran in. He's actually 5 for 5 if you count chance versus pros. Like
facts.
Even on spinoffs, he wins finals. So No, CT brought it up. Theresa, here's the thing. We don't know what the finals going to be like. We don't know if it's going to be like Vendettas where it's one winner, or if it's going to be, all the other finals where there's a male and a female winner. But right now, based on history, Theresa's not running a final against Darrell. Theresa would probably have no problems working with Darrell in a final. Therefore, why would Theresa want to get rid of Darrell? Theresa's also been, as somebody else said, it was Anissa, who said that Theresa's trying to work with the rookies and have them follow her. So, I mean, she's trying to work with Darrell's partner. So this is all CT manifesting this because he doesn't want to go against somebody that's probably could beat him in a final, which is fair.
I feel like in this whole storyline, we're missing like a major hole because usually with editing, they show us stuff like this. I feel like in the past, if CT were to tell someone, we as viewers see that happening. I mean, we've seen it earlier this season. I feel like when someone will like talk about like who wants to put who in elimination, we've seen it. So I feel like especially if CT was doing it, we would have seen it. So that's why I kind of think Theresa's just trying to saving herself right now. But at the end of the day, it's still we don't see it. But just based off CT's gameplay in the past, I have to side with CT.
I do side with CT in this one, but like Tyler said, this is 100% coming from CT. Why would Theresa give a fuck if Darrell's in the final or not? She's not really running against Darrell. And if anything, getting to run with Darrell is probably going to do you any good. This guy is a fucking winner. Just like a Johnny Bananas or Turbo, if he's in the final, then you're or Jordan.
Yeah, I'd say that's the top four. That's the Mount Rushmore of finals runners right there.
Oh yeah.
You want to say that about Mark Long?
Oh, hang on a second. Do we say people to run in finals or people to do a payoff and be like, hey, man, I'll get third place so you can get first place?
Oh, my God. That was like 25 years ago. Oh, my God.
It was
25 years ago.
Bringing up the way back when they were actually able to do stuff like that.
No, that was the duel, too, for Evan. He stayed back with Anissa so Evan could win.
Oh, I was talking about him and Bananas, how he lost money for a payoff.
That's number 3. There also was another one on Battle of the Sexes.
Canadian money?
Probably. That'd be smart. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, so definitely coming from CT. CT definitely leaked this. But also, it didn't do Theresa any good by throwing it on CT. It makes her look desperate. And it brings the kind of attention to you and your partner, Jay, that you're trying to avoid. Jay said it best. He's like, it's awesome having a partner fight for you so hard. I just wish you would stop. So...
We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Love War Challenges. What's good?
How's it going? This is Derek Kaczynski.
So this is Paulie, and you're listening to Love War Challenges.
What up, Malik? This is Cara Maria. This is a shout out to the Love, War, and Challenges podcast. You're totally awesome.
Love War Challenges. For anyone listening to this, they're at LWC Podcast.
World's most dangerous podcast.
So I just got a message asking if somebody missed our live. This is messages that I'm getting here right now. Buddy.
Who's that?
Rainy.
Okay, she's
Rainy.
cool. I was gonna say something fucked up, but I think it's just pronounced Rain.
Rain? I think it is too.
Yes, she's cool.
Well, either way, what's up?
She's an OG. She's been with us for a while. So
no doubt. Big shout out to Rain. Sorry you missed the live.
There was no live.
We didn't go live.
Yes, we didn't go live.
We're recording it right now, not live.
Yes. Sorry. Going live requires a lot of energy.
He just names our episodes live so people think they miss it.
Live. It's Wednesday night.
Facts. Let's go ahead and jump into the elimination. At the beginning of the elimination, TJ gives everybody a warning about keeping your hands to themselves. Actually, he didn't say that. It was more vague, but we all knew what he was getting at. He also tells us that he makes the rules, and an obvious point that was recorded at a different time. Like, it is so easy to tell when TJ didn't say something. Like, early in the episode, we was like, remember, I make the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, fam. Come on. You recorded that in the studio. But he lets all the guys know, for all the guys who didn't try during the daily, their vote would not count.
Wait, so I have a question real quick about that. So when they showed Casey and Leroy the votes, Were there any males on there or no? Because I don't remember.
So there were some males. So originally it showed, I think it was 9 faces. 9 people voted for them. But at the results, there was only 7 votes is what I saw from the House votes. So 2 votes got taken away, which I believe was CT and I don't know who else. It was CT and somebody else.
There were guys on. Okay. I couldn't find the picture of it. I was like, because I wanted to know if they just told the winners and they didn't tell anyone else.
I can tell you who voted for them if you want to know.
No, I don't care about that.
Well, it was Michi and Kyle's votes got to, and CT's. Oh wow. So CT, Darrell, Devin, and who was Kyle and Michi? All their votes for Jay didn't count tonight.
Wow. So that's 5 votes.
And it still didn't change anything, but I think it'll change behavior in the future. So everybody knows they got to, give it their best shot. So,
try. That's all you got to do is at least try.
How did we feel about that? Fair or foul?
Fair.
Way fair.
Yeah. You can't say this is foul. I mean, you're in a game to compete, and if you don't compete, why should you, participate? I think it's kind of messed up how they waited until the elimination to tell people that. I think they could have said it like as they were like putting their votes in. As they pressed the button, it could have said invalid, did not compete. That would have been fun to see. Like just see their reaction, like, oh shit, my vote didn't count. Because when you see that happening, and let's just say like another team went in, as a viewer, you have to oh, are they doing this because they want to save Theresa and Jay? Because that's never been done before. Because there's been times where people have thrown challenges like Bananas and CT in past seasons where they didn't really have that penalty. So if we've seen like a big change, it's as a viewer like, oh, maybe it's rigged to help Theresa and Jay out. That's why I think it should have done before.
It was close though. Devin and Gabby received 5 votes. So, but then again, 2 of their votes were canceled off. But I'm just saying, if other people would have voted for him, it could have swayed it. And I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Tyler, did I compliment you on your mustache lately?
Oh, yeah, you did not. But I wanted to talk about that. I started a new TV show. It's called Narcos on Netflix. And I'm feeling really inspired by Pablo. So
I was going to say, you got an 80s porn stash going on.
I'm not even lying. I actually am watching Narcos right now. I just felt like keeping it.
Hey, that first season of Narcos
Dexter
was great.
Next. I just started season 4. The show's pretty great.
Oh, you know what? I was watching Dexter all the way up until the part that Jimmy Smits came in. Because when Jimmy Smits come into your show's just about over.
Who's that?
Jimmy Smits was the tall Hispanic individual, and he killed the one, and he found out Dexter's secret, and he killed the one lady.
Falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, wow. Why you always try to penalize us every time you try to expand? We care about other things besides the challenge.
Yeah, like we have lives outside of the show.
We have lives outside of this.
Just the cast members, like, yeah, we do shit off this podcast. Let's talk about like sports. Like, hey,
nobody
Mahomes
cares.
next week. Let's go.
Nobody
You're the only one who
cares.
don't watch Dexter or sports. Leave us alone. Let's go ahead and move on. So it looks like
It's my job to bust balls.
So Jay and Theresa are going in. Good to know that TJ's rule change didn't really change anything, except for making it a tighter vote. And Leroy decides that he is going to come down to earn his gold skull, cheered on by his girlfriend, Killer Cam. And so we see that the elimination is going to be fire escape. And I instantly caught a flashback because I want to say it was
X's.
I've seen Leroy do this
2.
before, and X's. X's 2?
X's with Leroy and Naya versus Bananas and Nani.
Now,
No.
I remember.
No. It was just versus Nani. Bananas never actually competed.
Yeah.
Now, what I remember is Leroy just complete, and I remember it because he would just, his whole body was just flinging out, and I remember he did it crazy, and I just like, I know how this is going to go. I mean, of course, Jay's a rock climber. He has one of Jay's best things that he has a skill set that's very good for the challenge. And as soon as I seen this, I was just like, yeah, I know what's about to happen.
Like any other competitor would have said, yeah, someone else go. But Leroy's like, oh, his eyes must have lit up. Like, oh my God, I did this before. I killed it before. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Now, when people say the challenge is rigged, shit like this is what they're talking about. Leroy already mentioned that he's going to go in, let's give Leroy a elimination that we've already seen before this season. Let's make it extra long, but let's give him the thing that he probably performs the best in. Now, I'm not making any accusation that it is rigged, but this is the shit to have people saying things.
You're not saying, you're just saying.
We have to repeat other eliminations now, because if this is the only repeat, it's a very bad look on production. If this is the only one that gets used twice.
So Ring of Spies needs to be next. And if it's not, it'll be just like Free Agents when Jordan said he was going to nominate himself and the wall showed up.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, then we're getting another hall brawl this season.
But here's the thing. Does that mean that we'll get the opposite gender for each of these eliminations? We might get Lolo in the hall brawl.
Because we had like back-to-back male days.
Doesn't matter though. If we have 6 different eliminations and they've only been done by a specific gender, they will swap genders for that next elimination. So that means we're gonna maybe get Lolo in a hall brawl.
But what I'm trying to say is we have back-to-back male or female eliminations. So one of them is gonna be by the same gender because we have back-to-back with the same gender for the first time.
Not necessarily. They could just
we'll see what time comes. But like I'm all for it. Because I like majority ones that were used already, so might as well use it again.
Well, Leroy definitely beat the brakes off of Jay's whole entire season. For me, this was actually kind of disappointing. And it was actually, in my opinion, kind of a disappointing season for Jay. He comes out, I think, just one daily win, lost an elimination, and really just didn't make that much noise. A lot of bad political decisions following his partner Theresa's lead. But how would you guys sum up Jay's second season in the challenge, Tyler?
I mean, he made it 4 more episodes than he did last time, so that's a plus. Right? Didn't he go out episode 3 or was third elimination? But I mean, here's the thing though. We have to also look at this. Like his elimination track record is he's went up against CT, Rogan, and Leroy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, and 2 of those were in super physically
things. Too.
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
Big accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm just talking about he's done 4 eliminations and 3 are against big dudes. His season was disappointing, 100%. I think he made a bigger impact in his first season, but that could also be credited to taking out CT. But then again, he kind of showed that he's willing to play the game and he's not afraid to kind of try and make a move. And he made a friend in Nam, so that's a plus. If Nam stays on the show going forward, that's a good ally.
I don't see Nam coming back.
I don't see Nam playing.
I mean, they don't have Turbo anymore, so they got to get somebody like him, and Nam's Turbo.
Turbo could come back.
I feel like every year they're going to get that one big international guy, and there's a new one every year.
Nam just isn't, unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of personality, at least that has been shown yet. So I think that's
not his time.
Huh?
It's not his time.
Well, neither did Turbo in this first season either. We didn't really know much about Turbo until later on.
We got plenty of cuts of Turbo acting like Turbo his first season, and that's why everybody loved him.
Yeah, but that was in the later half of the first season, and not the first half, I would feel like.
Well, only time could tell.
Rewatch it. Well, he gets plenty of
Leroy decides to keep his partner Casey, and Corey gets paired up with Theresa.
The faces that they made.
Teresa's going home next.
I don't think either one is really excited about that. Corey brings nothing to the table because his alliance is depleted, and Theresa is pretty much persona non grata. I would actually expect that this team is going to be targeted more sooner than later.
I mean, Corey does lose partners right away, so I mean, Theresa could be going home next.
Yeah, I think her time is going to be numbered unless she's able to get herself a gold skull. So hopefully she finds herself in a position where she could actually pull one off.
I mean, this isn't even Corey's fault, though. Like, at the end of the day, Theresa did this all to herself. So the fact that now she's with Corey and she's like, oh, he's cursed. No, you ran your mouth and everybody doesn't like you. So now you're public enemy number 1.
Okay, but we have to be honest about this here. I get it. Jay's more likable of a guy, but she technically upgraded in partnership. Like she did. She got somebody that is more well-rounded, I think, in things like more physical competitions. He can do better. And then Jay, not saying Jay isn't strong or anything. I'm just saying Corey is a well-rounded guy who's pretty good in eliminations. I'm just spitballing right now. I think he's like 6-3 or 6-4, whatever. Ever since he's like first 2 seasons, he's done well. And I don't know. I think Corey still has people in the house that like him. And if Fessy's working with him, that means Big Brother's working with him. It'll come around. But I mean, I thought the decision was weird for Leroy not to take Cam, because we don't know, like, what if there's only like 2 more eliminations? But why? Like, why not?
Because if they're not together, there's more of a chance one of them wins, and that's more odds in their favor. Because think about it, it's the same thing with I'm trying to think. I had a
basically, I think she just wants to keep the same alliances. I'm sorry, Antonio. I know you're trying to think of your thoughts.
No, yeah.
I do think it makes sense for them to continue to stay on different teams. It's their power is more spread out that way.
It's like, remember War of the Worlds 1, I think? No, 2, when it was, so with Jordan and Tori, how Jordan said, if Tori stays on Team US and I'm on Team UK, I'll just throw it so Tori can win her first final and win money. So that's guaranteeing at least one of them win money. So I guess if they're separate, it's more of a chance that one of them walks home with money. Because if they're together, they have that one shot. And if one of them loses, they both lose and they don't make any money.
I get it, but Leroy had an opportunity to upgrade his partner, and he didn't. That's my thing. I think Cam is an upgrade from Casey.
Really?
But he has the Big Brother alliance.
Casey's holding it down, though.
You can still have that alliance and be partnered with Cam. I think him and Cam could be better at more things than him and Casey can be better at. Like, they've won physical
winning
dailies.
More dailies and stuff.
They've won physical dailies, but they're not gonna, like, I don't see them being like in a marathon puzzle making thing and winning. I don't see that happening. But with Cam, I think he could.
I mean, it also puts a target on the back too, knowing how the power couple is a couple. They're on the same team, so like, you know, if it worked with them being separate, ride with it until it's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Ride until the wheels fall off.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right. One hell of an episode. Is there anything that we need to touch on before we get out of here? Any off-camera stuff or off-season stuff? We know the We Want OGs project is moving forward. They are quarantining. Really excited to see how that shakes out. You know, I'm going to be rooting on my homegirl Kendall. And of course, I'm going to be rooting on the Godfather, Mark Long, the greatest challenger in the history of all challengers. Like, Landon who? Landon who?
Oh my God.
Are we?
I think
no
Tyler
Mark.
just had an aneurysm.
Are we doing episodes for that too, or no?
I guess if we're making like a top 35 males, he's on that list, I guess.
Oh my
35 now.
God.
The disrespect.
Did you guys want to talk about what happened the other day with the comment?
They got deleted.
Yep.
Ooh.
I was going to say, I think they did get deleted, but I know I've made sure I did respond. I don't know if you saw my comment back, but
I don't want to dive too deep into it, but basically somebody hopped on one of the YouTube comments. They hopped on one of the videos and they pretty much accused Tyler here of being racist because he has some opinions not agreeing with Cam. Now, look, there's a lot of ugliness out there. There's a lot of racism and stuff out there. When you throw around that stuff frivolously, we use it like that. What you gonna go with that? When you throw around that term like that, it takes away from when it actually happens. It's useless. It does nobody no good. It's not even, come on, like, Tyler has said many good things about Cam and many good things about a lot of African-American and other minority challengers. All reality, not that he's insensitive or anything, but he just doesn't care. He's the most logical out of everyone here, which is why he's kind of our moral center. So
truthfully,
you can disagree with us, but we don't all have to be racist or homophobes. Every time we say something you don't agree with, we hardly ever agree with each other. So just stuff like that. And it's incredibly hurtful. Exactly. And it's incredibly hurtful for somebody who I personally have never seen say or do anything remotely close to racism. So don't be an asshole.
He's not racist. He just hates women.
Oh my God. I think
Tyler did say that word that one time. It's about Manscaped.
Yeah.
You know, he
let's not bring that up right now.
But that's all in good fun. That YouTube comment was way out of line and way off base. And really, like, we love our fans and we listen to our fans. When you guys post, we see it. When you guys comment, we see it. We don't comment back as much as we should, but we see it. And when you put stuff like that, remember, we're real people on the other end of this microphone, and just don't be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate George Ramos, though. The guy was...
Yeah, he was definitely...
Nice guy.
Big ups to George.
You know, and I did make a comment. At the end of the day, Tyler goes by different sets of perspective. I'm a very passionate person. He's a very passionate person. So at the end of the day, same with me and Antonio. We fight all the time too. So it's one of those, it's just...
We have a show based around us fighting.
It's a difference of opinion.
It's love, war, and challenges for a reason, people.
If we all agreed with each other, this would be the most boring podcast in the world. If we all were just like agreeing with everything that everybody said. So...
Speaking of which, though, if you guys do want to check out more stuff we just dropped a top 20 eliminations of all time video.
Look at Tyler plugging himself in.
I'm just saying, check it out.
I'm a little upset that you guys didn't ask me to put voiceover on that. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, that's only due to the count of your voice.
I think you're out of town. I don't know.
Well, it's getting late.
You're in next week. What the fuck is this bullshit?
My voice is amazing.
Not until you get that audio quality fixed up.
Hey.
People, could you just tell him that my voice is amazing? I know he's not even paying attention anymore, but this is ridiculous. I have an amazing voice.
Brooklyn Italian accent is amazing to hear. Everyone loves it. So, just put me out there, guys. All right? Yeah,
you can listen. You can barely do the outro without stumbling. Do you really think you can do a script?
How did you not recognize? How have you not memorized that? Oh, we're closing in on 110 episodes. But listen, before we get out of here,
I do it once a week.
Before we get out of here, make sure you visit shopthechallenge.com for all of your customizable challenge gear. We got the cast jerseys, we got custom jerseys, and we just had a major price drop. Everything's down to $20 for your shirts. So make sure you check out shopthechallenge.com for all of your customizable challenge gear. If we don't have anything else to touch on, bananas. Oh, before we leave, big shout out to the Challenge Unbothered Facebook group. We love that place. That is our home group. We know you guys miss our lives. We'll try to get back on it again in the future.
Shout out to Pam.
Yes, big shout out to Pam. Big shout out to Rain. Big shout out to Joe. Love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Bananas, close us out.
All right. Off the dome this time. Another great episode, Podsters. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay updated by following us on Twitter and Instagram at LWC Podcast. Join us on Facebook at
freestyle off the dome.
He's trying.
Okay, Lupe Fiasco.
Stop. I got this.
Why does Kiji know over here?
Hey.
Racist.
Okay, Google.
All right.
Stop music.
From the top, off the dome, again.
Off the dome. Can you give more New York?
All right.
I need the more gabagool.
Hey, where's that gabagoo?
From someone from the Midwest who has absolutely no accent. That's terrible.
All right. Another great episode, Posters. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay updated by following us on Twitter and Instagram at LWC Podcast. Join us up on Facebook at facebook.com/love-war-challenges. Join our discussions on Reddit under the challenge subreddit at LWC Podcast. Also, check out our website, lwcpodcast.com. Make sure you stay updated by following us. Make sure while you listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, give us 5 stars, give us a great review, and most importantly, subscribe. Have a great day, Posters. Peace!